But today, yeah, so we're lucky enough to be bouncing in Paul James's Vauxhall. So I've prepared at least 8 cars for this trial.
So this is a Ford Model A, and we've had it in the family for about 14 years. My dad inherited some money when my great-grandmother died, and this is what we bought. We bought it. We went over to the States and we bought it and then shipped it back over, and that's why it's called Bess. Some new tyres. So yesterday we changed both the tyres over, which was first time, but managed to do it in the end. It was quite a struggle. I've been trialling since I was 17, so about 10 years now. And normally with my parents, but they're at home this weekend. So, but it's just great to fill the car with some friends and go around.
Don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine. And you can't deny we are not just killing time. You should let me know if you want this true. Baby, you just make me feel crazy. A little crazy for you. Yeah. I think about you and I want you here with me. Am I out of my mind? Or is this how it should be? You made me sing about love, so just tell me if I'm wrong. But it feels like love. Yeah, it feels like love. Yeah. Don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine. And you can't deny we are not just killing time. You should let me know if you want this true. Baby, you just make me feel crazy. A little crazy for you. A little crazy for you. Hey. A little crazy for you now. A little crazy for you now, baby. I'm a little crazy for you now. A little crazy for you now. A little crazy for you now, baby. Don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine. And you can't deny we are not just killing time. You should let me know if you want this true. Baby, you just make me feel crazy. A little crazy for you. I feel crazy. A little crazy for you, baby. Yeah, yeah. A little crazy for you now.
If they're having that much fun, I want to join in. We've got 3 forward gears and 1 reverse, and it's got 4 cylinders, 747cc, like the aeroplane. I think it was probably restored in about the 1970s, and its top speed is about 45. It's fast enough because it does have a tendency to wander around the road a bit, and if you put your foot on the brake, then the steering can get funny. And I go on holiday in Cornwall quite often. So I've driven it to Cornwall. It takes about 3 days. stay with all my chums on the way down. It's very nice actually. It does break down, but generally it's pretty well looked after. It's a little bit fragile for trialling, and also I am a bit now. If I go bouncing up the hills, I tend to break things. So I generally just go and do rallies and tours and that kind of thing. And I use it for every day as well. So shopping. And the good thing is you can park it. You know those little trolley shelters at the supermarket? Just drive straight in and you've got a little Austin 7 sized shelter. I've had this one for about 20 years. And it's certainly given me plenty of fun. Yeah, I've taught all my grandchildren to drive in it too. So as soon as their feet all reach the pedals, they get to learn to drive this in the wood, which is quite good fun. But if it breaks down on the side of the road, things like clearing the jet on the carburettor. Because what happens when you get the tank low down, not much petrol in it, you get bits going into the carburettor and then the jet needle stick. So I can do that. So this car has a magneto which looks after the spark, that the spark plug makes. And if that gets wrongly adjusted or it starts to get loose, a little bit can fall out, and it's a little kind of, it's called a vernier coupling, and it falls out down, but you have to go and look for it down the road. So once you've got it back, you have to reset the timing. That's quite complicated, but I have done it. And what you do is you take the first spark plug out, put a screwdriver in, turn the engine by sort of pushing it in gear until that piston's at the top. So your screwdriver's right at the top. Then you set the points on the magneto so they're just opening, and that's your timing set. Oh, I can swap spark plugs, check points, and that's the sort of thing really that you have to, you have to do day to day. And we also have a little group of all lady drivers with these sort of cars. We're called Chummy Ladies. This is a Chummy, Austin 7 Chummy. So we're called Chummy Ladies, and we go and have holidays together and do things like shopping or going to look at gardens. And the good thing about it is that because you haven't got your husband sitting next to you when you're changing gear, if you make a nasty grounding noise, it doesn't really matter. Whereas if he's sitting there, it's awful, isn't it? So you get told off. We have that group, and it's encouraged loads of ladies to start driving their cars. Well, that's been a good thing. And I think they were described as one of the first family cars that could be used, especially with lady drivers. The major thing that's gone wrong is that the crankshaft broke. I'd been out with one of my grandchildren after I picked him up from school, and we'd gone out to the butcher's, and we were coming back up my drive, and there was an enormous bang, and everything stopped, and that was the crankshaft breaking, which is a main bit of the engine. It's a small little engine. You can lift it out with a sort of makeshift tripod and a pulley. In 2 days it was going again. This is Shetland wool, and it's from my sheep. So we have some Shetland sheep. They're the colours of Shetland. They've got very soft wool, and they're all different colours. That's the thing about Shetlands, is you get white ones and grey ones and brown ones and black ones. And we only have a few. It's a hobby, so we collect together their fleece and send them off to Devon. And about a year and a half later, you get balls of wool come back.
14 years, yeah.
Well, it's definitely an interesting piece to inherit, I suppose.
No, it's ace. It is ace, and it got us into vintage motoring really. My dad's always done motorsport, but he did more classic stuff, and through his own business, Vibration Free, he got to know had some customers that were involved in the VSCC. Came along to a trial, got completely hooked, decided he was going to buy a Model A. And then now we've got a race car, we've got a special, which is it's a Morris Minor chassis, but it's got a Model A engine in it.
Yeah.
So we go off in the summer racing that and hill climbing that, and then in the winter we're trialling. Well, it's a standard Model A engine, 3 litres. It's got what's quite cool, which I understand is it's got these original attachments to the distributor.
Yeah.
Which, if you look at other cars, they don't have those. It was a Henry Ford thing.
Yeah.
That's why I understand. This is our modified oven. This is where we heat up our lunch. But you can only have them on the left side drive cars because otherwise the steering column's in the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got one and we fitted one, so it's the perfect thing for trialling. The thing is, it's more of a warming oven than it is a cooking oven. So we just put sausage rolls in, Scotch eggs, things like that. It's great. We got to bribe the marshals with them. That's what we do.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, but it's ace. It's really good and it's a great club. I mean, the people, they're great people and it's always good fun.
A little crazy for you now. A little crazy for you now, baby. I'm a little crazy for you now. A little crazy for you now. A little crazy for you now, baby.
Oh yeah, Paul's pretty scared if I get my Lee Francis out.
Don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine. And you can't deny we are not just killing time. You should let me know if you want this too. Baby, you just make me feel crazy. A little crazy for you. I feel crazy. A little crazy for you, baby. Yeah, yeah. Little crazy for you now. Oh, yeah, crazy for you.
Hi there.
Hiya. Are you filming that?
We are filming, yeah. We're not just herring up and down.
You've gone mad.
No.
I thought, leave them alone.
Yeah.